Hey guys, so Lucy is getting her Euphoria and she will be stronger, but not by herself. She is quite reliant on the Dynamo team in order to dish out millions of damage that you saw in videos. Oh, and another thing to mention is that I have done the video on how to build a functional Dynamo team and how Dynamo works, also how fast to charge Dynamo. So I will put the link of both of the video in the video description. So if you want to know more about that, then please do watch it, because here I'm not going to explain how Dynamo works. Okay, so let's begin. But before we talk about her Euphoria, let us look at the buffs and what changes. Alright, first of all, she has so many buffs, and it's really quite difficult. Maybe if like you're a new player, you don't know what buff is what and what's going on with Lucy's kit. But do be assured that her gameplay is not that difficult. I mean, there's a set of rotation that all you need to do is just spam and then use out and then spam and then use out. It's not really that difficult, but there is just a lot of things. So if you want to know a little bit more about what this buff does, what that buff does, and why is she so strong, then this is the explanation, right? So first of all, Pragmatis. So this buff, it allowed all attacks to be of stronger afflatus. So stronger afflatus damage factor plus 10%. So this means that after Lucy uses her ultimate, or her attack will be afflatus bonus, will have afflatus bonus, and you can bring her in almost any fights because she will do afflatus advantage. But there's no changes when it comes to the Euphoria. This buff remains the same. The second buff, Data Iteration. This one was there as a means to kind of give Lucy a ramp up mechanic. Like you start off weaker and then you get stronger with more Data Iteration. And now Data Iteration doesn't only just add attack plus 4% per stacks. It increases the rate of which the ultimate might that Lucy gain will it will go higher than 100%, all the way to 150%. So let's say if we give 10% ultimate might to Lucy, what she actually gets is 15%. So apart from that, in terms of obtaining Data Iteration, previously is only when she uses ultimate, but now with Euphoria, you also gain Data Iteration when you reinforce your skills. So all Lucy skills can be upgraded. And when you upgrade them, then you gain 1 Data Iteration. So it makes it very quickly that in 3 to 4 rounds, perhaps, you will be maxing out on Data Iteration. Next is Charge Ammunition, Overcharge Ammunition. So previously, you gain this when you are using ultimate. So now, when you enter Electric Field level 3, you gain several stacks of this Overcharge Ammunition. And if you attack and you crit while you are in Electric Field, then you gain Overcharge Ammunition. And the one from out still remains. Okay, so there are just more options that you can gain Overcharge Ammunition, and Overcharge Ammunition basically gives us Dynamo stacks. Now, Dynamo, what is it for? Last time it was used to enhance her skills, but now it is no longer used, as in the reinforced skill no longer consume Dynamo. Instead, Dynamo is used to charge Electric Field, and when Electric Field is at level 3, then Dynamo is used to make Lucy hit even harder. So what it does is that for each stack of Dynamo, Lucy will do additional 8% relative damage on her skill, any of her skill, up to maximum stack of Dynamo. So that's like 240% relative damage. For advancement, so at the start of next round, choose to reinforce one of the 3 incantation, and if they are all reinforced, you reinforce the ultimate. In terms of this, there is no changes, but the thing is that since you have more Dynamo units in the party, this means that everyone will be gaining Dynamo so quickly that Lucy will be able to reinforce 1 skill every round. So which means by the fourth round, you will already enhance all of your skills. And now for the reinforced skills, they will infuse Dynamo that Lucy obtained into the electric field. And the last thing here is leadership, which is her force field that grants stronger afflatus damage factor plus 10% to other allies. So this has no change. But do keep in mind, this doesn't make your teammate hit for bonus afflatus. They have to already naturally have that. Then the factor is increased by 10%. So now we are done with the buff. Let's look directly into Lucy's Euphoria. First of all, at the start of the round, if no electric field is active, deploy electric field, and after casting a reinforced incantation, infuse 10 Dynamo into the electric field. But this means, first of all, Lucy needs to have Dynamo. Okay, if Lucy have no Dynamo, you're not going to infuse anything. Okay, so how is Lucy getting Dynamo? First, self-gain Moxie 2 Dynamo, so 1 Moxie 2 Dynamos, and if ally gain Moxie, is 1 Dynamo. So that's how she's going to gain her Dynamo. And from overcharge ammunition, no, so this comes rather naturally now, especially if you hit level 3 electric field. So you will be getting quite a number of Dynamo. So I guess in order to balance that, to make her kit more in line with the electric field, they remove the Dynamo that you can get from killing enemies. Basically saying that they don't want Lucy to be able to gain a lot of Dynamo and charge the electric field by herself. Because if there's a lot of enemy that she can kill and she's getting so much Dynamo, there wouldn't be a problem for her to charge the electric field. So I guess they don't want that to happen, and you need to rely on, let's say, Ulrich, Ezra, or Charon in order to charge the electric field faster. Tier 2, she starts off with 20 Dynamo, so this makes her able to reinforce one skill right at the start. Okay, and after reinforcing, gain 1 stack of data iteration as mentioned. Now, tier 3 gains surge enhancement, and upon entering electric field, load 2 overcharge ammunition, while in electric field, if crit, load 1 overcharge ammunition. So, as I mentioned, she can easily get overcharge ammunition, so she can gain a lot of Dynamo. You see, one thing odd about this is that you want Dynamo to charge the electric field, but this seems that Lucy will get so many Dynamo while the electric field is already charged. So the reason is, again, remember I told you about the 8% relative damage? Yeah, so you want to get maximum 30 stack of Dynamo when the electric field is at level 3. So this overcharge ammunition will help you to achieve that. And for the 4th tier, reinforced incantation no longer consume Dynamo. So the first push, Insight, that is her Insight, no longer grants Dynamo when enemy is defeated, and under different level of electric field, reinforced incantation deal additional 50, 70, 120% relative damage equal to that of conservation of energy. What does that mean? Okay, so conservation energy is one of the skills that Lucy uses after she uses ultimate and when she kills an enemy. So P0 Lucy does 100% damage when using conservation of energy, and when enemy is below 50% HP, you get to do additional 50%. Okay, so what it means here is additional 50% of conservation of energy's damage. So conservation of energy, if it's 100%, so 50% of that is added as additional. Okay, so if you consider like enemy is below 50%, so here we have 150% relative damage, and 50% of that is converted into additional damage. So that's 75%. And then for electric field level 2 is 105%, and level 3 is 180%. Okay, but I'm not exactly sure if this is what it means. So if it's not, and you guys know about it, please do drop that comment in the comment section so I can pin it up. And while in electric field level 3, for every 1 stack of Dynamo, reinforced incantation deal additional 8% relative damage. And lastly, reinforced incantation benefit from ultimate might at 100% rate. So here, last time I tested, if you have like ceremonious ultimate might, this reinforced incantation cannot use that. So I guess this is something that you guys might want to know. But anyway, So at maximum 30 stack of Dynamo, we are looking at 240% additional relative damage, and I can tell you this is higher than the original damage of the reinforced skill. Okay, so this is what makes Lucy hit so hard. Other than that, at max data iteration, so we are looking at 150% ultimate might conversion. So let us look at her skill when the electric field is at level 3, how much it is enhanced. So at base, for skill 1, at base is 280% relative damage. So we have an additional of 240 and additional of 180. So in total, skill 1 will do 700% damage. But if enemy is above 50% HP, then it will do 640% damage because there's lesser conversion from the conservation of energy as mentioned previously. If you are using skill 2, if you are against 3 targets, it will be 570% and 510 if enemies above 50%, with an additional of Genesis damage 80% of Lucy's attack. If lesser than 3 targets, then it will be 610% relative damage. For conservation of energy, it will do about 570% relative damage, and against enemy above 50% is 460% relative damage. So overall, Lucy alone is not enough to charge the field to level 3. So you definitely need other Dynamo units. Okay? And with other Dynamo unit, you can easily reinforce her skill every round. So her gameplay will be, there will be a certain rotation, and I think I will show you the full rotation when I rewrite the tips for Lucy. But anyway, Lucy gameplay, at round 1, because now you have only one incantation reinforced. So just use that one. Don't use the other one. Okay? And then in subsequent round, use 2 of her incantation. Because I believe now in the second round, both will be reinforced. So now you just keep using. By round 4, that's when you get the first ultimate. And then after that, you just keep spamming as much Lucy's incantation as possible. Here, I'm assuming if you're using first melody, so there's 2 incantation every round. Okay, even the round that you're using ultimate, you want to use both of her incantation as well. And next here is Lucy's Portray. So the Portray, first of all, the first one, increase conservation of energies damage to 150%, and if the target HP is below 75%, then additional 100%. So this does make her follow-up attack deal more damage, but I think it's not really necessary that you want to chase specifically for P1. So it's okay at P0. At level 2, a step forward, pragmatics, and leadership duration are increased to 3. So I think these are the more important Portray if you want to get her Portray. And not only the duration increase, the stronger afflator's damage factor also increased to 20%. So why is this important? Mainly due to 3 rounds. Duration increase for pragmatics. So imagine this. If you use her ultimate this round, and then you use 2 of her incantations, that is 2 Moxie. And in the next round, you use another 2 incantation, that's 4 Moxie. By the time you hit the 3rd round, Pragmatics may no longer be active on Lucy, which means she will not be doing bonus afflators for that specific round until you use her ultimate again in the next round. So if you have it 3 rounds, then it will still be available, which means you can rotate through Lucy's rotation comfortably without losing Pragmatics, and she will be hitting for bonus afflators all the time. And for P3, which increases the attack bonus and data iteration stack, the data iteration gain is increased too, but who bothers, right? Because now data iteration, you can get it using reinforced, and you can easily hit 5 stacks. So P3 is not important. And then P4, increased conservation of energies damage, and now it triggers 4 times. So this is actually pretty insane, but it's rather fight dependent, because not all fight you can have up to so many minions to kill and trigger so many incantations. especially like in rivalries. You're not going to get that many instances where you can trigger that. So again, P4 is mainly for raid if you want to chase high score, else you don't really need it as well. P5 attack bonus increase 8%, maximum stack is increased 6%. Whenever an ally gain 1 Moxie, gain Dynamo. So the Dynamo part is no longer important. So it's only the extra 8% attack and also the maximum stack of data iteration is increased to 6. This will enhance her damage, but I think it's not that important as well. So P2 is the best portray that you want to get because it really makes everything better. As for her team recommendation, obviously Outreach, you're gonna get him for free. There is no reason that you don't use Outreach with Lucy. Like, it's already for free. You are not going to even consider if you're gonna pull him or not. Like, he will be there. And it's not like you're gonna use him in any other team. Alright, so for the other two member, you can have Melania and Flutterpage. And sustain, you can use Ezra Dynamo. Okay, Melania, because now they are attack skill with ultimate, so Melania is actually really good. And if you do the rotation right, you can even do double outreach ultimate, which is really strong. So I will show you this because the best team right now in 2.8 for Dynamo is with Melania, not with Flutterpage. Okay, so I will explain that in outreach because I felt like it matters more for outreach, but obviously the ultimate might does matter very much for Lucy as well. But in terms of rotation, it does help outreach a lot. Okay, but if you got no Melania, then you can use Flutterpage. And for sustain, if you don't have Ezra, you can also use Keeperina. And to be honest with you, I prefer to use Keeperina most of the time. Simply because Keeperina has better shield and her playstyle is more passive. But by 3.0, you will replace Melania and FP with Chariot. So Melania can go back to out team and Flutterpage can go back to follow-up attack team. And finally, to conclude this, should you pull? Well, the Dynamo team is very versatile and can clear a lot of endgame rivalry stages. So I posted the one on Blittai, I will post the one for Dynamo. Then you can judge yourself which one you prefer. And if you should go for Dynamo rather than Blittai, which I will also do a video for that. But I really highly recommend you to get Lucy because you get Outreach for free. So you kind of just like need to pull one more character and then you are set. Okay, Lucy always does a flatus bonus, so making her useful in a lot of stages. With the Dynamo mechanics right now, she don't even have to rely on killing enemies to gain Dynamo, so you can use her in single target fight and she will still hit like a truck. So thank you very much for watching this video, and good luck with your pulls and have a good day.